Hello, buongiorno. Welcome, Mike. We are in Genova.
We are, wow.
Finally here, and we are 2 hours and a half before the kickoff. We just take position because it's nice. The stadium is amazing. And now we're waiting everybody to come and start in the warm-up before the game. We arrived yesterday.
Yeah. And the weather, fingers crossed it holds up. There is a fairly ominous cloud coming over the mountain, but it's beautiful, perfect rugby playing conditions. Some wind, but sunny, dry, more importantly. Yeah.
And we have 10 meters away, we have the coach, the
boss.
table, the boss.
Yeah.
Quesada is going to be there soon, so let's see. Now in the field there is Capozzo, which is he didn't pass the HIA, but he's doing the rehabilitation, so he's the only guy at the moment with sanguine training, actually, with boots on, but we're going to see him. But a lot of new faces in this team for this week.
Yeah.
Gangs of Trulla, Mike.
You've been sniffing this opportunity for Trulla for a long time. Mate, what a game to come in as well, and what a vote of confidence from Quesada.
Bertaccini from the bench, which is another big call.
Yeah.
Allan, he left the team for that injury on the calf, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. Yeah.
So we're gonna start with Matt Gallagher, second game for Gallagher, starting after Samoa this summer. And it's gonna be an area battle for sure, because they have, of course, Niniashvili is gonna kick and chase everything he can, and he's gonna attack hard. A couple of big duels in the game. Tudua Trulla on one side, on the other one, we are stronger than Tabutadze, the ninja of the Georgian. We have Monty Ioane, he's playing maybe his best rugby.
Yeah, for sure. He's playing a Fd'R brand at the moment, isn't he? He's really sort of found himself as a player, and like I think that the time in France has done him good, frankly. So yeah, mate, long may it continue.
Another big call is Dino Lemba, line-out operator, without Ruzza this game. So that it's another call. Really, 13 changes, but as Quesada said, not because we play shit one game and now we have to change. No, because 100% ready. We want people to get ready and everything, and this is the way we're gonna play this game.
Yeah, and realistically, that answers the question I had last week, which was if not now, when?
Right.
And Quesada's answered that for us this week. It's now. Now's the opportunity to try some fresh faces, people, push some players out of their comfort zone, and frankly against good opposition as well, which is nice to see.
And in a certain way, this is like the warm up for the Six Nations, our yearly World Cup that we play.
Yeah.
So we need to try now because we want to be ready for Wales, the first game in home. It's gonna be tricky, but I think we're gonna push really hard at the beginning.
Yeah.
And we have to do that, actually.
Yeah.
To make the gap.
Yeah, well, that's it. Also, I think it's about, trying to put sort of pressure on the players in the right way, at the right times. Because obviously for us, the Six Nations is absolutely key. We want to be competitive. And I think it's fair to say that, when there's been pressure, this young team, unfortunately haven't been able to cope. So it is putting the right kind of pressure at the right time. Obviously, it's a big game, as Otto said. It's their World Cup just as much as it is ours, and they're going to really come at us. That said, I think it's a really good opportunity for these young players and these players who have been shown that vote of confidence to really sort of prove themselves.
Man, and the other duel is the scrum.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with hard scrummaging. They are missing a few people, but they are ready. Anyway, the Georgians are used to play high level because they play in France, the majority of them. So it's gonna be interesting to see Ferrari, Ceccarelli on that side. On the other side, let's see how he's gonna feel Fischetti. And of course, then we have the Spanish in position. So all good stuff. Nicodera starting. Usually, when Nicodera started was for the hardest game, let's say.
Yeah. The dog work.
Yes, and then we have fresh legs of Lucchesi, the work, the turnover with Giuliani too from the bench.
Yeah. So
Good sensation at the moment.
yeah. I mean, I thought it would be one of those games where, you know, as a fan, you start sort of getting flutters, but right now I'm just excited. Like, it's a beautiful day, beautiful stadium. The Federation have done, you know, wonderful stuff here. So really looking forward to seeing sort of how the game turns out. But I think it's fair to say that they're gonna attack the breakdown today, isn't it?
Yeah, they want to try to challenge that. If we didn't fix those issues that we saw in the, let's say, last 15 meters in the outside channels, Argentina put a lot of pressure on us. They get a lot of turnover and penalties. In attack, when we were in the opposite 50s, and in our 50s, they attack a lot. So let's see how we're gonna defend attacking the breakdown when we have the ball and the possession, because Georgia is gonna come for those situations. Niniasvili is a guy that put hands in those situations. He's really good in the breakdown too, actually.
Yeah, well, we were talking last night, and I think it's fair to say he's probably one of the sort of danger men to look out for, Niniashvili, isn't he? He's
absolutely
been an animal. I actually genuinely think he's a Menoncello level talent. You know, very like similar to in terms of wiry strength, and obviously maybe slightly even more complete as a player. You know, defensively, aerially, he's going to be a person who can cause us some problems. So it's going to be really interesting to see sort of how we plan on dealing with that as a team.
Another player is Luke Maktawa, which is the number 10, and he's flary the way he play. He used the kick really well too. And they're gonna try to move us in the back three in some way, even with the foot, and put pressure in our let's say in the 20s, too, in our own 20s, trying to attack those breakdown that we were saying before. So let's see.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, plenty to be excited for. Obviously, we're going to probably do a few of these uploads and a live stream as well throughout the day. But I think it's safe to say, you know, it's all go from us today. We have to see everything that we want to see as a team, as part of this growth, as part of this process that we keep talking about. Now's a time where it needs to accumulate into something really positive. So let's hope we see that.
We saw a few Georgians last night around, so they are here. Yesterday were cheering for Amashukweli for the ref, and today they're gonna be loud. I don't know how many they will be, but they're gonna be loud, and hopefully the stadium is gonna reply to that in the loudest way possible.
For sure, it's nice to see. It's nice to see the travelling support for them as well. Obviously, like I said, we need to wait and see sort of how many are actually sort of going to fill up, because obviously, like Otto said, there were around the town, and you know there was a few in the bar we were in yesterday as well. So good spirits.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice speaking rugby to anyone, regardless whether they're rivals or not, and it's nice to see that, you know, they've come in good spirits.
It's interesting because we don't have that tradition of games against Georgia, but in the last years it's been always the talk around Six Nations, in and out, playoff, play out, whatever. So that is something that we are building a tradition of games against them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's also a directive from us that we're trying and help grow the game, as much as, you know, we're typically shunted as those teams, or one of those teams that are like blocking. You know, we do our part with the tier 2 nations, just as I think, you know, Scotland deserve a shout out because they do exactly the same. So like, we're taking, you know, the opportunity to measure ourselves against Georgia, who are closer in the tier 2 than the rest of the tier 2s, than to the tier 1 nation. We're giving them the opportunity to measure themselves up against us. So it's one of those where I think, you know, sometimes you have to give credit where credit's due, and the Federation are doing a good thing there.
And Cockerell knows what to do with this team. Let's see how he's gonna apply his credit, his belief in this game, because probably it's one of the toughest that he's gonna play. Of course, they were All Blacks 15 last week, but this is probably, there's a different feeling for this kind of game for them and from the supporters too.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that it's one of those where I think, you know, there is probably going to be like the odd pre-match flutter from the Italian team. So I think it's, you know, like we spoke about last night, it's really important for us to start strong and make sure that we put, you know, the voice into the fans' mouths and like make the stadium sort of erupt in the right way, and just so that we can, like you said, build you know, a bit of pressure. You know, we need to be that 16th man, and I think it's important for us to, you know, the team to start strong and ensure that we're moving in the right direction there.
That's it for now, guys. So hope to see you soon back. Follow us, and we are here in Genoa. Forza Italia.
Forza Italia.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.